Good evening, folks, and welcome along to round number 5. It's the Sharp Apparel NASCAR Series brought to you by Virtual Racing Aotearoa. My name is John Wright. On behalf of TrackSpotTV, we will be bringing you all of the action from today's round here at Chicagoland. It's going to be 120 laps for our drivers to navigate this 1.5 mile oval circuit today. Not quite an oval, as you can see, not a perfect oval, but certainly an interesting one with that little kick at the start with the start-finish straight. It's going to be a more than interesting race, shall we say. The cars are in lone qualifying at the moment. We've got stage 1, which will complete 40 laps, 10 points up for grabs for the drivers that will go towards the standings, where we see Luke Dilworth leading the way after a great drive last week. Saw him take the top spot. He takes the top spot in the championship. Xavier Simmons is in second place, with Willie McLoone in third position. Scott Rankin and Bryce Harden currently both inside the top 5. Rankin and McLoone, as you can see, they're only separated by a point. Hayden Millings, Brady Standley. We got it right first time this week. Let's go. Josh Mertens, Tyler Williams and Lackey Brett round out the top 10. Devon Stove and Hayden Warrington both on the same points. So very close in the early stages of the season, as you would imagine. Logan Howard, Jamie Harding, Aidan Gregory, Ayrton Smith, Corey Crossan, Hayden Guptill, Terry Leverage, Watkins and Cale James round out the top 20. James and Leverage, Watkins, another 2 drivers on the same points so far this season. Of course, it's only 4 rounds of points that we've so far. Michigan, Pocono, Nashville and Sonoma we've been to so far this season. Of course, Chicagoland today. We've still got Echo Park, Charlotte, Indianapolis, Kansas, Iowa, Richmond, New Hampshire, Daytona and the season finale at Darlington. That's a long time away though. Not so far away is the start of today's race. It's going to be Hayden Millings who's going to start on the top spot, with Xavier Simmons in second place. Logan Howard and Josh Mertens on the second row, with Devon Stone and Hayden Warrington on row 3. Matthew Stables and Hayden Guptill on row 4, with Terry Leverage, Watkins and Lackey Brett 9th and 10th. Just behind them is Cale James and Reese Tamanui. Oh, bless me, in 12th we've got Murray Howell in 13th and Stephen Tears in 14th position. Jason Douglas in 15th, with Corey Crossan in 16th. We've got Cam Galley in 17th position, Sam Waddell in 18th, Willie McLoone in 19th, Luke Dilworth no time set again down in 20th position. Scott Rankin, Aidan Gregory and Brady Standley no time set either. That could be a precursor for just how tricky this course is going to be. It does look so simple. Just turn left with a bit of an angle and you should be fine. Doesn't always work out that way though. We'll get down to the track very shortly. The drivers will be gridding up. As I say, this track, Chicagoland, only built back in 2001, so a relatively young track in the grand old scheme of oval racing, but nonetheless an absolute cracker. Of course, exactly 1.5 miles long, as you would expect. They do like to do things properly here in oval racing. One of the medium length courses that we've got for this series. Of course, a few of the much shorter ones still to come: Richmond, Iowa, Darlington. But this one, the drivers almost getting it, taking it a bit easy this week after Sonoma last week. That definitely wasn't the easiest thing to do in NASCARs. That is for absolutely sure. Now it does look like the stage 1 is going to be 15 laps actually. Oh, apologies, no, that is. Stage 1 is going to be 40 laps. The drivers are on their warm-up. Let me see. I do have audio. Perfect. So we'll be about behind the safety car. Unlikely to be the last time we see the safety car, just with the nature of this course and the length of the race, with the tyres going off, especially towards the end of the second stage, or the middle of the second stage. It'll be interesting to see when the drivers pit and how many safety cars we get towards the end of the race. We've got 23 of them out on track. So we could see some good long running here. We could end up seeing a lot of safety cars. It could very easily go either way. But they're on their warm-up lap at the moment. We've got Stephen Tears and Corey Crossan, who both appear to be in the pits. Two of them starting late. Let's see what happens with those drivers. Luke Dilworth, he's down in 17th position. We'll see what he can do over the two stages after a fairly glorious run through the field last week. Here we go then. The safety car is peeling off. The drivers are getting up to speed. There is the green flag that we will see wave, and it will reveal the cars. And away they go. Oh, look at the flames flashing out the side of the cars as they get their foot down and flying straight into turn number one. It's Hayden Millings that holds on to the lead from Xavier Simmons. They're going to go 3 wide potentially. We're definitely going to get a whole lot of 2 wide action into the first 2 corners, that's for sure. I'll tell you what, we've got a big breakaway as well, actually. Lethbridge Watkins seems to have run up through the field. We've got a big gap forward behind him, but it's 2 by 2 full nose that formation. Up at the front of the field, it's Millings, Simmons, Mertens and Howard, the main protagonists up at the front at the moment. Love hay fever, bless me once again. It's Devon Stove who is in 5th position, who's looking to catch up with these 4 drivers up at the top of the field. Absolutely on point in the opening couple of laps. That is absolute picturesque driving there. Millings just gets overtaken by Simmons on that outside line. Mertens is up there with him. In fact, yes, it is. It's Mertens that's up on the outside line. In fact, he is unfettered as he drops back down to the bottom line. The rest of the field are willingly catching up with these top 2. As I say, it's still absolutely side by side as Mertens is looking to join Simmons on the high line and get himself up in a 2nd place if he can. At the moment, though, doesn't have the corner exit speed to make that one stick. So it is still Simmons and Millings that are going to run away with it. Up at the front of the field, Mertens and Stove in 3rd and 4th. And I tell you what, it's a good run down to the bottom line there from Hayden Millings, trying to get his nose out in front. I tell you what, as we come on to one of the minor stages, you can see just how close the rest of the field. Absolutely in the hunt here. Logan Howard, he's up on the high line as well. We'll see if we do go full 2 by 2. I do expect there to be a lot of dual lane running in this race, given the nature of the course. There's Howard taking an invitation to drop down to the inside line. He's going to get the run on, not quite get the run on Mertens, but he's certainly going to get one on Stoke. As we get the old front left wheel. Do love this camera view for these races. We're on board with Lucky Brett. At the moment, he's had a good start to the race. You can see he's up 3 places already, and he's getting himself right into the thick of the action here. He could potentially force a 3 wide. That might be a bit suicidal early doors. We'll see how they decide, or how he decides to proceed, as the top 2 are still very much within touching distance. Guptill and Brett swapping positions. You can see Guptill on an absolute flyer out of that inside corner there. Brett just losing a bit of momentum, running the high line. He didn't clip the wall there, I don't think, as we see them absolutely flying past the car with their absolute top speeds achieved, thanks to the banking that this course has got. And it's still Simmons leading the way. Devon Stove now finds himself up into 2nd place as Millings, and then dropped down to 3rd. So Stove has made some good progress through the field, and I think Brett is now, Brett has made a couple of places as well, sorry. He is up 3 spots as well, so it's Millings, Howard and Warrington down 2 places each. I can confirm as well that Tears and Crossan both did manage to get themselves out of the pits. Look at the field go absolutely flying past here. We've got a couple of 3-wide situations right in the middle of the pack. Also Douglas Rankin and Dilworth, unsurprisingly, making move. Dilworth and Rankin ahead of him, both up a combination of 10 places between the 2 of them, which is pretty impressive so far. The picture dark for anyone else? I believe the picture is up and running. Let me just do a quick sanity check at my end, but yes, as far as I'm aware, everything should be up and running. It's still Simmons who is leading the way with Stowe in second, and Millings in third place. Then it's Howard, Mertens and Brett. Yeah, the picture does seem to be working okay for me. Right, okay, yes, so it's just because it's overcast. My apologies, I've misunderstood that. My producer has just corrected me. I thought you'd gotten a black screen, but it is actually just that it's dark and overcast. We are getting a bit of sunlight coming through now. Go. That should hopefully be a bit better on the screens now. That is picking up there. It says Simmons in the foreground with Stowe, Millings and Mertens making their way through. It's still incredibly close. It's there at the top. The stage one will finish in 7 laps. It's actually lap 40. The stage one will be finishing on, so the drivers are going to be racing away till then. Oh wow, look at that run down from Gupta once again. He done well last week at Sonoma. He certainly knows how to find the low line here. Starting in third, he's dropped down a couple of places, but he's massively in the hunt to get right back in there. As we see a potential 4 wide is when the Camrys pulls down onto the bottom line. Or one of the Toyotas, sorry, I do call it, they are Camrys, effectively, but it is the Toyota. Just behind Logan Howard, that is Lucky Brett, I believe. Gupta, Warrington, Tamanini. Oh, that's somebody just touched the wall there, Tamanini. And William McLuhan swapping positions inside the top 10. Pierce Crossley and Waddell is still down at the back of the field. 2 of them, just checking, they did both start in the pits. Which is, yeah, an interesting way to start this race. Logan Howard just making his way up. He's got a beautiful 3 wide shot. What a camera shot that is. And I tell you what, he's taking the apron there, which is perfectly legal. It's certainly brave to do in these cars. Oh, there's been a touch. That was almost 3 very unsettled cars there. They did all survive. That was Gupta, Howard and Tamanini. Dilworth is catching up. He's now made his way into the top 10, and in fact is already up to single digits. He's up into 9th position, so a hard charge through the field for Dilworth already, and he is still very much hard charging as he's got Howard ahead of him. On screen at the moment though, it is Millings who is battling away with Devon Stowe for that 2nd place, and all the while Simmons is absolutely tearing away with it. You can see the gap that he's got. And it might actually work in his favour. We've got what is effectively a back marker. One of the drivers that started from the pit, so that could give Simmons an extra boost to slipstream, so he can catch up. That'll give him an extra boost to slipstream to catch up to the back marker and get past and help him pull away from the rest of the field. It's Simmons in the lead, Millings and Stowe, as we can see. Very, very close indeed. Give me one moment, folks. Oh, there we go. Bless me, there we go. Just to look at much better, there we go. Yeah, if only we could control the weather, that would be, certainly being here in Scotland, being able to control the weather would be rather nice. On board with Devon Stowe. We're already 15 laps into this one, and it is a very convincing lead for Simmons already. Millings in 2nd place. We're on board with Stowe in 3rd. He's got Mertens, Gupta, Warrington, Brett and Dilworth up to 8th position. So Dilworth has already made his way through past several cars. What's he up now? 11 places. Absolutely no stopping Luke. This season, from what I've seen, he's the top of the standings for a very good reason. He had a phenomenal race last week at Sonoma. Only just missed out on getting stage points, and then went on to take the full race win. I think they're going to have to be hard pressed to find anyone that's going to bet against them bringing home a race win here today, even with the gap that Simmons has got this early. We've still got a long way to go. So we are still into the first stage points. It's a bit confusing at the top of the tower, but it'll be lap 40 that the first stage comes underway. Bit of bump drafting here. Now the drivers are getting right into it, and here's this making his way up the inside the 5-2. It's Tamanui, sorry. So it's Tamanui and Dilworth there inside the top 10. In fact, Dilworth dropping positions for the first time in the race. It's Tamanui that is chasing there from 11th place. So this is going to be an interesting pack of cars that could find themselves being a bit of a fly in the ointment for the drivers right up at the front. And that is Dilworth. Love the sound of the cars whizzing past the engine there, folks. Hey, you've got to pause the commentary just to hear the engines whizzing past every single time. Oh, it's mandatory. Warrington, McLean, Dilworth, Howard and Tamanui involved in a fairly full-blooded race here in the middle of the pack, all the while Simmons is increasing his gap up at the front on board with Dilworth. He has got some good views ahead of him. He's got quite a few cars behind him as well already, and all falling into single file now, so less of a 2x2 until they come into the corners. Of course, they've got separating out once again. Dilworth trying to hold on at the bottom line. The tyres are going to be doing an extra bit of squealing. Oh, he's popped out to the outside. Oh, he's almost touched it, almost collected himself back in McLuhan's car there. McLuhan having a bit of a wobble after he's touched the wall. Lost a bit of momentum. Look at the beautiful shots of him flying down that embankment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Flying past as McLuhan gets overtaken by Howard Dilworth fairly firmly, holding on to 8th position at the moment, as the rest of the field are still chasing away. There's Kill James, got Jason Douglas ahead of him, and Cam Galley just behind him. So very close battles in multiple parts of the track, but they are separating out ever so slightly between these two packs. I've got a couple of laps left to go, almost looks like he's standing still. I do love the Steel Series logo on the side of the car. Looks very nice for James. He is now up to 14th position. He's got Douglas and Galley just behind him. Up in the front of the field, there's still Simmons leading away from Millins with Stove. In third place, sorry, Josh Merton's currently holding on to 4th. The Guptill in 5th ahead. Lucky Brett. Luke Dilworth has made it up, as you can see there, to 7th position, and you can see the gap that the race leader is crafting in for himself, but the rest of the pack are very close. That slipstream is going to be pulling along. And I'm just going to check on some of the top speeds here. You can see, the drivers in the slipstream well over the 300. And just under 300 for the drivers out with the slipstream, so a very, very, very big difference. Everyone clocking in about the mid-31s at the moment, so again, we'll keep an eye on those lap times and see if they start to fall as we lose a fair bit of rubber off the tyres with the embankment that we've got here. And look at this, here we go. It is 2x3, 3x2, whichever way you want to call it. This one could get interesting. We've got, who's this involved here? Sorry, it's Staples, Galley, Stanley, and Aidan Gregory. Brady Stanley making good progress through the field after getting onto the podium last week, just outside the top 15 this week, and it is a couple of little battle groups that we've got forming. As we approach lap 40, the pit lane will close 2 laps before the end, so lap 38 the pit lane will close. And the final stage point, first stage point, sorry, will be handed out at the end of lap 40. We'll get a competition yellow, 2 laps under the yellow flag, and then we'll get off and running again. At the moment, it does look like it's going to be Simmons that is going to take the top spot. He is running away with up at the front as the rest of the cars here battling for top 15 positions. Oh, as they go nice. Tapered entry into the corner. What are they going to do on the way out? Nobody clipping the wall. Well, I've seen a couple of drivers clip the wall, which is a bit more difficult to do here than some of the other courses. It is still pretty easy to lose sight of where you are on the track if you're paying too much attention to the car ahead of you. Give that wall a tap and find yourself absolutely robbed of whatever momentum you thought you had, and being very quickly overtaken. Sorry, give me that again. Perfect. There we go, we are up and running with the tower. Perfect. Yep, 27 laps gone, and we've got 14 laps left to go of this, so that has managed to fix itself up on the top. We're on board with Cam Galley. He started in 17th, he's currently running in 17th position, but there he goes. Sends one around the outside, so yeah, it is Simmons, as I say, at the moment, with Millings and Gupta. Wow, he has gotten very close to it. Very close to Brady Stanley. Stanley losing a bit of momentum out of the corner there, and I'll tell you what, this one really is. If Stanley's trying to save tyres, but if he is, it's going to definitely cost them a couple of positions. So what, we've got 12 laps to go. Is this now up near the front? Yes, this is Gupta, who's made his way up to third position. So he's moved up 5 again. He had a cracking race last week at Sonoma, managed to get himself, or he was certainly involved in quite a few overtakes. He's got himself right in the mix for a stage 1 podium at the moment. He's got Stove, Dilworth and Mertens. Dilworth having an absolute flyer of a start. He didn't make it into the stage points at Sonoma last week. He's certainly done so at the start of the Oval this week. That's 14 places he has made up since the start. That's not too shabby a start. He is absolutely flying. I'd love to get an update on his tyres at this point. They must be absolutely screaming under that car. There we go, we'll jump on board, we'll look and get a good look at what he's doing through the course. Gets so close to the wall there, and again there, that's almost like a touch on the wall. Clearly wasn't, no, because he didn't lose any time or momentum to the drivers ahead of him. He's now in the slipstream of the 3 cars ahead of him, so he's going to be getting pulled, massively getting pulled along. We've got 10 laps to go of stage number 1. So we'll see what he does again. We'll see if there is any strategy. I don't think there's enough drivers in the field to warrant trying to come in just before the end of the first stage to try and get an advantage at the start of stage 2. Although the drivers that are out with the points certainly won't be a bad idea to come in and get the fresh tyres. But it certainly would be a strategy we'll be banking on, given how close, again, how short the track is and how close the field has been. Although Dilworth, Mertens and Stove, there we go, he's right down onto the apron. Perfectly legal activity if you want to take the risk. He certainly can, and Dilworth, he now finds himself with a whole lot of momentum down into turn 1 and turn number 2. Has he got enough run on that inside line to improve his position? At the moment he doesn't quite, but he is definitely close enough to be taking full advantage of the slipstream being provided by the cars ahead. And he's also got Wacky Brett not too far behind him. Here is Xavier Simmons, who is currently in first place, and he has got himself a couple of back markers at Stephen Tees, who is close to him. And sorry, no, that's Hayden Millings, of course. The top 2 there, Simmons and Millings. There's only one back marker. That is the top 2, and it is those 2. Right, so those 2 have made a breakaway. Sorry, well, that's all been going on back there. They've managed to get a 2-second gap over the rest of the field. So at the moment, it looks like stage 1 is all about Simmons and Millings. As I say, 2 seconds is the gap they've got back to the rest of the field. It was slightly thrown off there by Tears and Crossan being involved, but as I say, they did start from the pits. So yeah, they've given Simmons a nice bit of slipstream. He's not been able to massively use that, or not been able to use that to break away from the rest of the field. Millings has seen that, and Millings is going with him. We've got 6 laps left. Millings indicating early though, yeah, that he's definitely having a look at that inside line if it is available, and it may well be available in a lap or two's time when he's looking to bring home those top 10 points from stage 1. There we go, there's Xavier. He's led for 34 of the laps of the race so far. So in a very, very, very strong position. The pack behind though, Hayden Guptill is the driver leading the way. He is in third place, but he's got Stove, Mertens, Dilworth, Brett, Howard and Rankin all absolutely on top of him. So a solid pack from third down, chasing these top two, but they're not making any inroads. So while they are driving with one another, these two absolutely driving away with it. We'll see if Millins does try anything. Yeah, we'll see if he tries anything to try and wrestle that extra point from Simmons. Will it even be worth it though? Oh, I tell you what, nice. That looked very close there indeed. Scott Rankin, as you can see there, he started in 21st position. Another driver taking to the apron. We're going to need to cut these apron strings, but thanks very much, we're here all week. Scott Rankin in 9th position he is up to. So yeah, taking that apron every few laps absolutely shortens the track and definitely makes it easier to latch onto the cars ahead. And as you can see, he's got a very good run indeed in the cars ahead. And in fact, there's a little bit of a wiggle there from Howard and Brett just ahead of him. That's Brett, I believe. Oh, and I tell you what, that is very close. It's almost an inadvertent bump trap there as we're getting right to the business end of the first stage. 40 laps to be complete. And not many cars coming into the pits actually on lap 38. This is where the pit lane will close, because we've got the stage. Stanley is down in 12th position. I've just noticed that there. What a run that is there for Lackey Brett. He really threw that down to the inside line. He's got Dilworth ahead of him in that 63 car, and that's a position he would very much like to take Dilworth up to 6th position as Millings just popping himself in the lead. The top two, absolutely nothing between them at the moment. They're bump drafting their way to a bigger gap. They're still over 2 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. Corey Crossan actually has just set the fastest lap of the race with a 31.064. So yeah, some serious slipstream going on down at the back of the field as well, as up at the front. It's the top two that have taken full advantage of the slipstream that they've got, and here we can see more side by side, and this is Luke Dilworth coming up on Stove and Mertens. Is he going to be able to make his way past this? Mertens is up on the high line at the moment, and is he going to be hung out to dry there? Gupta, you can see just ahead of him. And I tell you what, yeah, to top two, I've still got that back marker involved as well. So that was Tears, I believe, is closest to him. He's managed to keep with the top two as these four absolutely piling on top of one another. We've got one lap left to go. Everyone diving down onto the apron, trying to be the first one across the line, and that is Xavier Simmons, who is going to take the top spot in the first stage, with Millings in second place. It's Hayden Guptill that took himself third there, so he is going to get himself 8 points. There's going to be 7 for Stove. Dilworth picking up 6 points. That's going to strengthen his grip up at the top of the championship. Josh Mertens got himself 6th place. Rankin in 7th. Howard in 8th. Brett in 9th. And Hayden Warrington rounding out the points paying positions here for stage number 1. And Willie McLoone finishing that stage in 11th position. So the cars are behind yellow. We will get running again very shortly, but the only safety car that we've seen so far, more than impressive here in the Sharp Apparel NASCAR Series, round 5 at Chicagoland. The drivers are absolutely loving the track out there. No one came into the pits just before stage 1 ended, so no one fancied trying to sneak themselves a tyre advantage, but there's going to be quite a few of them coming into the pits now. We've actually had someone stay out. Or have we had someone stay out? Oh no, that's one of the back markers who's got to do another lap. So yeah, no one coming into the pits before the end of stage 1. Everyone coming in as soon as stage 1 ended. I can confirm that Sam Waddell is not in the pits. There he goes, driving past the camera there, right on cue, Sam. Perfect timing, thank you very much for that. But Sam Waddell, the only driver not in the pits at the moment. Millings, Simmons, Howard, Mertens, Stove, Warrington, Stables, Gupta, Leverage, Watkins, Dilworth are all in and they're all making their way out again. It's an absolute stramash, as we say up here. Oh, nice bit of tyre smoke coming up off one of the cars as well, really lighting up the rubber and trying to get an extra bit of heat in there. They're going to all get back out behind the safety car. They will all be reordered. Sam Waddell did come into the pit, so he did have to complete another lap, being a lap down, to get access to the pits. McLoone is still in, and Aidan Gregory as well, but Willie McLoone is still stationary. That is a monster pit stop he's taken. That's Sam Waddell is in as well, and they're both on the way out. Yeah, that is a very, very long pit stop for McLoone. 1 minute and 4 seconds. Yeah, I think he might have got a bit of car detailing done as well. Did he get the... did they clean the alloys too? That's a long pit stop. Yeah, so no clue as to why he took so long in the pits. I was just checking, just a quick bit of information. Apologies, I didn't read the race director's notes properly. It seems at the start, Stephen Tiers and Corey Crossan, pit lane starts. That was due to penalties, in fact. Race director was fully aware of the fact that those two were going to be starting from the pit, so that's why they did. That was penalty points from last week. So that's why those two started at the pits. And here we go again, another 80 laps of race. There's the green flag and away we go once again. We've got 80 laps to go at Simon Millings. And already a car down right across on the grass. Army going to get a yellow flag. He's absolutely, completely lost it there. I'm not sure who that is. Is it Gregory? I believe it is. I'm just going to look at the moment if the director can bring it up. Although sometimes the SDK can be a bit temperamental what it picks up as an actual incident. Up at the front nose, Simmons and Millings. Simmons in the pits. Confusing times. That is Simmons confirmed not on the pits. He is definitely out in the lead. Xavier Simmons leading the way. Don't know why it's got him in the pit lane unless he's indicated to his pit crew that he's coming in. It seemed like a bold strategy. If that's what he's going to pull at this point in time. And there we go. That's that clear. Not sure what was going on with the tower there, but Simmons was being declared as in the pits when he is absolutely flying out at the front of the field. Dilworth in third place already. It's absolutely incredible the pace that Luke has got. He is surely a massive favourite for the whole championship. I know we've got many rounds to go, but his pace on both track and oval are absolutely incredible, and he's already putting some serious pressure on Millings up there. He looks like he could be leading. Oh, and this is from the restart. It's Hayden Warrington that's shot across the grass. So there we go, Hayden Warrington. A bit of an unwanted bump draft he got there just as we're heading into the corner, and that's how he ended up all the way back down the field, and certainly off onto the grass. That's a lot of grass to be picking up on the tyres, a lot of grass cutting done. Well, that's what happened there at Warrington, and that puts him down in 22nd position. Although all he needs to do is the same as Luke Dilworth and just overtake everybody. Nice and easy. Dilworth's done it already, so the precedent has been set. So Warrington, challenge accepted hopefully. Xavier Simmons is still leading the way with Dilworth in second place now. Millings is in third, Malaki Brett in fourth, Josh Mertens fifth with Logan Howard, in 6th position. It's in Devon Stone, Matthew Stables, Hayden Guptill and Scott Ranking rounding out the top 10. Corey Crossan currently in 11th with Reece Tamanui just behind him. Simmons, though, as you can see, absolutely solid up at the front. He's already had several laps in the lead of the race, but that might be coming to an end. Here comes Luke Dilworth. There really is no stopping Luke at all. He loves these, the Xfinity, O'Reillys. Freudian slip there, we'll all know it's the Xfinities, but we do love the O'Reillys. And you can see there, Luke's still got the Xfinity badge above the wheel arch. I love to see it. Started in 20th place. He is up to 2nd position. He's got Lucky Brett and Hayden Millings not far behind him, so it's definitely a close battle over the front, but it's a battle that I expect Dilworth to have the lead off very, very soon indeed. Although, he might just play possum and just hang in the slipstream for a few laps. That wouldn't be necessarily a bad idea. Maybe save himself an extra bit of front tyres. We'll see. Oh, there we go, bouncing over the concrete. The drivers, of course, coming in on lap 41 for a pit stop. I seriously doubt we're going to see many of them. Well, yeah, we might see them try and squeeze the 80 laps. That is Scott Ranking down on off the embankment and onto the apron. He's managed to sneak himself a position there. It is ridiculously close here, as we can see. Just outside the top 10, it's Jason Douglas in 11th, Tamanui, Rankin, Talley, and Leverage Watkins, sorry, who are very, very, very close indeed. In fact, the whole field, there you go, you can see the top 15 or so, all definitely still on that. We've got this little pack of 3 and then a pack of 2 joining on behind. 23 drivers out on track. Stephen Tears, who started in the pits, up to 21st position as we all go flying through sector 1 once again. Cody Crossan with the fastest lap of the race still. It's 31.064. The only driver to do 31.0. A couple of 31.1s so far. Howell and McLoone further down the field, so definitely slipstream absolutely where it is at. Oh, now who's this? Matthew Stables. What has gone on there? Starting 7th, he is hemorrhaging time there. I'm not sure if his accelerator's broken or his handbrake's jammed on. Something's going on there for Stables. He is absolutely tumbling down the order. Oh, and I'm just being told in my ear from the race director that he's had contact with another car and then contact with the wall. So he is carrying some damage that won't be aerodynamically sound, and he's going to tumble down the order. We might see him coming to the pits to get that repaired, because that really is a lack of momentum that he's got going on there, and that's going to cost him hugely. Everyone lapping in the 32s now, so taking it a little bit easier on the tyres. Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts for this track. Not exactly the best on the tyres, especially with this number of laps. As you can see, a cheeky little 3 wide attempt here. Corey Crossan trying to get himself further into the top 10 at the expense of Rankin and Stove. Simmons up at the top. Dilworth in 2nd place still with Brett. I did think Dilworth would get the move done by now, but he maybe is just going to, as I say, play possum. Wait in the slipstream for a while. He doesn't need to do anything great. I mean, he's done the hard work already. He started in the back and he's got himself up to 2nd place as we're on board with Corey Cross. And here comes Reece Tamanui in the shot on the left-hand side. Perfect timing there as he appears. Looks to try and take that position. More 2x2 action. And again, with the nature of the course, I did think we'd see a lot more running of 2 lines. It seemed to die a death the summertime around about lap 20, and the drivers definitely favouring the single file now more than anything else. That is Millings, long-time race leader, and I find himself down in 4th position. It's Lucky Brett who's got the high line on him and looking to go around outside. Both of them getting a little bit of slipstream from the cars ahead of them, but not much. They do have Howard just behind them as well, and I tell you what, Howard is closing right in. He can make this a very interesting battle. Millings looking to try and hold on to a podium position as we are about to reach and breach the halfway mark of the race. So stage 1 is done in the first half. Almost done as well, 59 laps in. A little bit of touching between the two of them, a little bit of rubbing is racing. They both do survive, but I'll tell you what, they might not survive in their current positions, and there is, as expected, a nice little drive through there, and he's made that one look very easy indeed, and that's Millings. Making a bit of hard work of that there, and Howard getting the job done very easily indeed. So Millings hemorrhaging positions at this phase of the race. He's down into 5th place. That's Howard just gone past him. He's still very much in touch here though, and he's got a good gap back. Just having a look, yeah, he's got a second back to Guptill. So he's still got a bit of breathing space. No breathing space between these three though, as he once again goes to take the inside line and does get the move done on Howard. That's Millings back up again. These three don't want to get themselves involved in too much of a battle though. As I mentioned, they do have a 1 second gap back to Guptill, Rankin and Stove. And they'll definitely want to maintain that because there's a good solid 7 cars in a train behind them. Up at the front, there we can see Simmons and Dilworth absolutely flying through the camera shot there. Those two still leading the way, and they themselves have got a 1 second gap back to Lucky Brett in 3rd. So the top two have got a second, and then, oh, I'll tell you what, that gap has closed in. Guptill now well within a second. So these three, as they've been dueling away, you can see the chasing pack are furiously chasing. They really are trying to catch up. Everyone going to be on fresher tyres. I was just trying to do some maths as well and figure out who'd taken how many tyres. I think we're going to see, I thought Leverage Watkins would have a better start to this. I do think he took on all 4 tyres. And I do think that Logan Howard and Devon Stove both took all 4 tyres. I think the rest of the drivers, most of them only took 2, so we'll see how that plays out towards the end of the race. That's just reached and breached the halfway mark. 120 laps, or race laps in total. Oh, that's Devon Stove taking the high line there. Did lose himself a bit of momentum. He's managed to get it going again. Oh, Guptill. Sorry, that was Howard. Almost losing his nose to Millings there. Does manage to survive, and Dilworth. There we can see what a charge he's had. Another round, another Dilworth dalliance through the field. And he is, again, he is staying in the slipstream of Simmons. He doesn't need to do anything too crazy here. I mean, he's all, as I said, he's already done the hard work. He's made up those 18 places. He's got himself points in stage 1, and he is looking very good to bring himself some points in the overall race result, as he is still chasing Dilworth. Yeah, he is absolutely playing possum at the moment. He is thinking of the long game here. You can see taking a different line every time with Simmons. He is taking a slightly longer line. Simmons is going to be going through his tyres as well by getting down to that line on every single corner. So this is just Dilworth setting this one up for later in the race. They've now got a near 2 second gap back to the rest of the field. Dilworth might not have any choice but to take the lead of the race, and he does look like he's trying his hardest to stay in second place for the moment. Are we going to see some bump drafting? He's not quite close enough yet. He's going to have to pull down the high line, the bottom line there. Sorry, he had so much more momentum than Simmons. Simmons now trying to squeeze him down on the inside line. He's going to try and, oh, yep, he's had a little touch of the wall there. Is that going to cost him his position up at the front? It's not. That's another lap complete, and it's another lap complete with Simmons in the top spot. So it is a game of cat and mouse between these two, and it does look like Dilworth is the cat at the moment. Brett is still leading the way for the chasing pack, and I tell you, he has got a sizable gap back to Millings, Howard, Guptill and Rankin. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at it the wrong way. They're right on top of one another. That's the gap to the leader. The gap between them is still very close. In fact, Brett is under pressure from Millings, Howard and Guptill at the moment as they all fly through. Wow, some very quick sector twos they've got going on there. And there it is. The battle that I was talking about, Brett being chased down by Millings and Howard. You can see these three still racing away. Millings, of course, up on the front row of the grid at the start of the race, and very much trended that way through stage number 1. I tell you what, Brett trying to make sure. Oh, sorry, that's Millings trying to make sure that's as difficult as possible. For Brett to hold on to the position. Brett, oh, I tell you what, he answers in kind, makes sure he's pushed right up onto the wall, and that is Logan Howard. He's going to get himself involved once again. Well, these three absolutely dueling away as Dilworth is still holding on to Simmons. Oh, and that's almost a bit of a wiggle there. He wasn't sure he wanted to pull in front. There. Let's see who we've got now. It's Willie McClung, McCann, Galley and Rhys Tamanui just ahead of him. Oh, sorry, that is McClung. It's Cam Galley and Leverage Watkins behind him. There is Rhys Tamanui just coming through the foreground now, and there we see a couple of some of the go on the apron, tries to shorten the course ever so slightly, and I tell you what, he really has got a good run out of there. Rhys Tamanui is going to be under the serious pressure very, very shortly. McClung is bringing Galley, Waddell, Leverage Watkins, Howell and James all looking to get involved and try and get themselves into the top 10 if they can. They're currently just outside the top 15, so the lower end of the point scale for them at the moment. Another driver heading down on to the apron as he bangs back up against Sam Waddell. It was this time having a go on the start-finish line, across the start-finish line, down on the apron. It's certainly a popular one for the drivers to use. It's certainly one you see a lot in the IRL NASCAR series, that's for sure. The drivers do love a chance to ram on those going below the apron if they can. I tell you what, it can lead to disaster though. You need to be absolutely on point. We are clocking through the laps today, folks. 72 laps done, 72 race laps so far. The only yellow flag we've seen was to end stage number 1. Some absolutely solid driving from the 23-car field at the moment, which is being led still by Simmons and Dilworth in first and second. It's then Millings, Brett, Howard, Guptill, Ranking, Stove, Mertens and Crossan rounding out the top 10. We've got McClung, Waddell, Tamanui, Galley, Howell, James Stanley, Tears and then Leverage Watkins just inside the top 20. Hayden Warrington, Aidan Gregory and Matthew Stables running 21st to 23rd down at the back of the field. Although as you can see there at the bottom of the tower, if you notice, Tears and Leverage Watkins, they're having themselves a full-blooded race as well. That is for 20th position, but this one that we're on board with, we're going to get a shot of that now. Leverage Watkins do like that livery. Some very, very nice colours used on there. Completely unbiased Scottish commentary once again for the blue and white car. But yeah, he is running pretty well at the moment. He's got Stefan Tears, who started from the pits ahead of him. Tears has made up a couple of places, still got time to make up more if he can. But certainly Leverage Watkins, he has dropped it down the order from where he started. Yeah, quick bit of hydration. The drivers are certainly going to be feeling it, and we're now on lap 75, so we're getting very close to the amount of laps that the drivers did during the first stage. We all saw them come rushing into the pits as soon as stage 1 was done, of course. We will see how long after an equal number of laps has been run during stage 2. If and when anyone comes into the pits. It's still Simmons leading the way from Dilworth. Those two up at the front still got a 2-second gap over the rest of the field. Oh, and there is someone coming. Is there someone coming in the pits? It is. It's Willie McClung. So McClung has come into the pits, and so has Warrington. Now that is an interesting one. Only 36 laps in. So they are looking to try and get the jump on the rest of the field. Go for a bit of an undercut. All their tyres are just absolutely shot to hell and back, which is most definitely a possibility. Some butt drafting going on down through the field. There is Corey Crossan coming in to the pit. So that's Crossan coming in. He has just dropped. That's from 15th down to 20th place. So we're going to see a busy pit lane, a busy pit exit. This does make it interesting for the race leaders. It'll be interesting to see where they are when the drivers start coming out of the pits and where they merge in, if at all, with the rest of the field. Oh, I tell you what, that Toyota really does like being on that bottom line there. I thought it was going to drift all the way up a ranking. Managing to hold that one exceptionally firmly indeed. Devin Stone comes in to the pits for his second pit stop. And in fact, oh no, Logan Howard, sorry, we already knew Logan Howard was in. Devin Stone is in. Leverage Watkins is into the pits as well. And I'm just having a look to confirm the times that they're in there. We'll see a couple of really long pit stops, or one particularly long pit stop earlier. We shall see if that has any effect on the running order. Howell there, oh, almost getting himself run into the wall. That's Tears and Stanley just ahead of him. There you can see the drivers on the pit. To say they are going to join into the full flow of the traffic. This hasn't. Oh, there's Hayden Millings coming into the pits. So yeah, 40 laps worth of tyres, absolutely on point. Oh, I tell you what, that's a big contact. There's a lot of smoke, and that is a yellow flag. That is a yellow flag. This is an wow. Okay, we are going to get a replay of this, I'm sure. Yep, there we go. It is Brady Stanley joining us last week in the commentary box from the podium. He now finds himself into the wall and down on the apron and really struggling to get back up to speed. And I tell you what, that really does. Wow, that's played right into the hands of Simmons and Dilworth. Anyone that came in the pits just before. Oh, someone's just jumped back to the. That's Reese Tamanui. So Reese Tamanui has just towed back to pit lane. I think he got caught up in that as well. We shall see. We shall see. Here we go. Oh, yeah, he did. Wow, the nose of his car got completely taken off there. And Stanley, wow, was absolutely standing still sideways on the track there. So Tamanui getting caught up in that. Here we go then. A whole lot of cars coming into the pits. So the cars that came in, now this obviously it's a lot quicker to pit, or you lose less time under yellow flag. But the drivers that have just come in and taken their pit stop, this is going to put them in a very, very, very good position indeed compared to the rest of the field. We'll see if we'll have. Oh yeah, oh field block. Oh wow. Yep. So Tamanui. Full ice hockey press against the glass there, and that is what happened in the front of his car, and that is why he's moving so slowly. I tell you what, that steering column is not. He's doing, oh, beautiful onboard shot, bang, wow. Whole lot of smoke coming out the front of the car. I mean, Tamanui, he took that contact there. It was his competitor that lost all of the engine power. Also, the two of them, they are going to have some repairs to do when they come into the pits. Dilworth is in the lead. Dilworth managed to get the overtake done under yellow flag through the pit box. Surely not. No, he'll get reordered. Of course he'll get reordered. Of course he will get reordered. It will be Simmons that will retake the lead of the race. Stephen Tears, who had not long been in the pits. Oh no, did he stay out? No, he didn't. He came in as well. Let me see here. Yeah, he did. Tears did come in the pits, so he has played that one absolutely perfectly. Picked up penalty points last week. We saw him starting from the pits this week. It's not deterred him any though. That's now 3rd position he finds himself in. We'll see if anyone gets a lucky dog. So there we go, we'll be back up and running again, and Dilworth is in the lead of the race. Goodness only knows how he's managed that, because he's Luke Dilworth, that's why. But yeah, he's got the, he's been in and out the pit stop quicker by 0.3 of a second. Wow, so there we go. 0.3 of a second less time stationary. And that's been enough to give him the lead of the race. And I don't think we're going to see that overturned unless there's some more craziness under the yellow flags, which is not something that we've seen so far this race. That was only yellow flag number 2, and of course the first one was competition yellow to end stage number 1, and then definitely all flying once again. Listen to those engines absolutely flying past, and Luke Dilworth absolutely flying over the front. It's now Simmons that is doing the chasing. Let's see if he can match Dilworth's pace from earlier on in the race. Of course, Dilworth holding on to that 2nd place for quite some time, taking the lead through the pit stops under safety car. Absolutely incredible. Gupta, who got some good overtakes last week as well, up into 3rd place at the moment, with Mertens and Waddell in 4th and 5th. So the drivers that took the pit stop just before that safety car really have benefited. We've got Scott Rankin, Cam Galley and Aidan Gregory all up into the top 10, along with Stephen Tears in 9th, and Ray Howell rounding out the top 10. Cody Cross and Lackey Brett, Cale James, Matthew Stables. Hayden Millings is down in 16th place, with Devin Stone in 17th, and Hayden Warrington currently running in 18th position. Willie McClune down in 20th place. It just goes to show you how much it can all change. I tell you what, Simmons trying to squeeze Dilworth up onto the high line as he retakes the lead of the... Again, I think Dilworth potentially just played possum here. He much prefers being a second, not drops down onto the apron. I tell you what, Dilworth... Simmons doesn't join up. And there we go. As we say here in Scotland, they're like buses. As soon as one comes, they all start coming thick and fast. I think this might be Brady Stanley who is involved in this. Yes, he is in the pits with a few crumples in the crumple zones of the car there. And that's a bit of a wiggle from one of the cars that are still out on track. That was a monster wiggle there. But yeah, there we go. So that is a 2nd safety car for an incident. And yeah, Brady Stanley does seem to be the car that's been involved there. There is the field. So we're going to have another couple of laps under safety car. Will we see anyone pit though? Is there going to be much of an advantage? I mean, an extra few laps on your tyres, definitely never a bad thing. We'll see if anyone does decide to come out. I don't think they will though. I mean, stranger things have happened. Certainly, stranger things have happened. And yeah, there we go. Quite a few of the drivers coming in. Tears, Stables, Warrington, James, McClune and Howell all coming in. Look at that, an absolute angry mob descends upon the pit lane. And that's the 113's board out as well. So Hayden Millings, his board is out. Is he coming into the pits? It doesn't look like it. No, Millings stayed out. Now the 113 board was hanging over the pit lane there. But Millings has stayed out. Simmons, Dilworth, Gupta, Waddell, Mertens, Galley, Rankin, Gregory, Brett have all stayed out. Corey Crossan stayed out as well. Another few of the drivers slightly further down the field coming in to take on a fresh set of tyres. Maybe a little bit of damage for a couple of drivers as well, actually. Just looking here at the stats. Yeah, McLean and James were in for slightly longer. As the safety car stays out. Now he was down on the apron there, looked like he was going to come out on this lap, but not be. He stayed out, so we've still got some reordering to do. We've got more cars. Yeah, Brady Stanley still in the pits. Oh, that's him just getting in now, sorry. He's only just got stationary. That's him being 8 seconds. Wow, so a quick turnaround there, so I'm not sure if Stanley had a further issue, but he's just come back in the pit. Only stationary again for 8 seconds, so not a lot of service time for the crew, so not a lot was done to the car there. But that is him in and out again. It's going to be Xavier Simmons who is going to lead us off for this one with Dilworth, in second place. Hayden Guptill and Sam Waddell are going to be on row number 2. There's confirmation. We've got the safety car coming in on this lap. And we have got 30, we'll have 30 racing laps left to go. And there we go, safety car in, 30 laps left to go. And we are off and running once again, and let's see what the start's like this time with Simmons and Dilworth up in the front of the field. Lucky Brett getting an absolute flyer. He was absolutely perfectly on the accelerator for that one. He's found himself taking a couple of places. Galley, Millings and Crossan all losing out at the start, as we have... Oh no, we are green flag running. Oh yeah, we do have another... Oh, we've potentially got another yellow flag. We've potentially got another yellow flag. That was a lot of tyre smoke in the background. They really are coming thick and fast, and a stationary car. Well, hello there. Cars hiding behind cars. That's how much impact we've just seen there. That's Aidan Gregory, who's at the toys way straight back to the pits. Wow, so there we go. Another safety car. So we did what, 70 laps without a safety car, or without an incident fueled safety car. Not that the safety car is fueled by incidents. It is still fueled by petrol. That joke would be much better if I was able to smoothly deliver it. But yeah, Lucky Brett facing the wrong way, so I'm not sure. We're not quite sure SDK has fully picked up what happened. But the two cars absolutely coming together there and ended up completely stationary. Oh yes, of course we've got the best race director on the planet. Of course he's found it. Oh wow! Big bump draft there. Apologies if that was a bit loud, folks, but Lucky Brett took a bump draft which pointed the nose of his car up towards the wall. Unfortunately, for him and the driver on the inside, it wasn't a direct contact with the wall that he had. That is a Toyota and a Camaro that are in absolute bits. We'll see this here from Brett's point of view. So he comes, yeah, wow, takes a big hit from the rear. That might have been Millings. I think that was Millings. It was indeed. They gave him a bit of a push on the rear there. And here we can see, this is how good this race director is. He's just... yeah, he's massaging his own ego now, but we'll absolutely love to see it in Millings. Oh, so it wasn't even so much of a tap, it's just that rear quarter panel. He tried to pull over, that spun him round. Millings ended up sideways and taking another car in the side as well. My goodness gracious me. Wow, so a whole lot of contact there. But that was a big push here, so Millings just tapping the rear quarter panel of the car in front of him. And that has led to a fair bit of carnage. More drivers coming into the pits, as you would imagine, getting a bit of damage repaired. If I can get my, there we go, get my stat sheet actually moving. Oh Yep, the door just closed. Oh, look at the choke point that created. And bang! There we go. Leverage Watkins finding out the hard way that there is crumple zones on both the front and side of these cars. Now we do have, as Aidan Gregory is still stationary in the pits. The safety car is out. I believe he's going to be coming in after this lap. Rhys Tamanui is out of the race and Aidan Gregory is in the pits. So we've got 21 cars on track. Brady Stanley is still a lap down. I'm not sure if he's going to get a lucky dog this lap. We'll but we are fairly piling through the laps now. That's us now on the other side of lap 90. With a 120 lap race plan, so we'll get going again, it looks like, on lap number 95. Oh no, we've got the green flag. Is the safety car going to pull in? He is indeed not, so we're going to be running at the start of lap number 94. The green flag will wave and reveal the cars, and there we go. Some beautiful technique on the flag waving as well from the steward. He's done this before, you can tell, but out in front, Simmons now got Guptill behind him as Dilworth finds himself falling a position. Hold the presses. Dilworth has lost the spot in the race. He's very quickly regained it though as he goes back ahead of Guptill. But I tell you what, Mertens, Waddell and Rankin, that's an interesting battle going on behind as well. Waddell just looking to lead that group if he can. Those three jockeying for positions as the top three look to jockey for positions as well. As Simmons in the lead with Dilworth in second, Guptill, Waddell, Mertens and Rankin round out the top six of Warrington McLoone Stables. Howard inside the top 10. Devon Stone getting himself involved with Murray Howell there as well. Bit of bump drafting going on as Willie McLoone takes a position from Hayden Warrington. They're all absolutely lighting up the timing towers at the moment, with over half of the top 10 setting a personal best in sector 1 there. That's how quick they're going at the moment. We'll see what kind of tyre advantage is going to be taken into the closing stages as well, because a few of the drivers coming in and getting that pit stop taken, extra set of tyres, definitely never a bad thing, especially when you've got we don't need push to pass, we don't need that, we don't need that. Excelentes are all changing throughout the field. That's Jason Douglas and Josh Mertens who are currently side by side as we're on board with Jason Douglas. He started in 7th, he's currently down in 15th place, as we can see there on screen. So he's had a very good race so far, making up those 8 spots. Apologies, I was looking at the telemetry again. His sector 1 times are absolutely on point. His lap times not too shabby either for Douglas. I tell you what, that is a very, very, very good entry. That Toyota badge looming ever larger there as Douglas finding a very good run. We'll see if anyone takes the apron this time to try and get themselves an advantage. Well, I tell you what, it's not going to be much of an advantage at the moment. Is he going to go 3 wide? Is he going to touch the wall? He is not. Beautiful stationary camera shots. Oh yes, we absolutely love those. Give me more of those, please. We've got Jason Douglas looking for more positions. He has just dropped 1, and it might be another one, because here comes Hayden Warrington. Got a very good run in that Toyota, goes straight down to the bottom line instantly. Takes himself 2 positions. What a run he's got. Fellow Toyota driver Douglas on the outside line. Rankin on the outside line there. Douglas goes the car that is chasing. It's Toyota v Toyota once again, and it does look like he's got this one absolutely nailed on. Hayden Warrington with a good couple of corners there to get himself in a very good position. Back up to the front of the field, it is Guptill and Dilworth battling for second place, although it's a battle that Guptill is looking to take full control of here as he does slide his way into second place. Is he far enough ahead though? Nope, he is not, because here comes Dilworth right round the outside. Guptill taking the apron there, as we can see, and that brings Sam Waddell right into this one as well. Waddell having a great race so far in 4th position. Him and Willie McLoone, himself and Willie McLoone, sorry, in 4th and 5th. Both They started in 18th and 19th. That long 101 laps to go. There are 19 laps left to go, and it is absolutely anyone's racing at the moment. Simmons up at the front of the field, but it is a tenuous lead he's got at the moment. We've seen the pace that Dilworth's got both last week and this week here. I do think he is just a praying mantis at the moment, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike so he doesn't get re-overtaken by giving the slipstream to Simmons. Plus, it's easier to control the bump drafting if you're the one doing the bumping, and certainly Dilworth is in that position at the moment as he drops down onto the apron so far over on the left hand side. Nice flat piece of track there as Waddell up in 4th position. He is closing in. Guptill just running a bit high there, and that is going to bring Waddell into the hunt. I tell you what, that really is going to get Waddell up fair bit of slipstream as they're all catching up. And yes, we mandatorily go quiet as the cars whiz past that particular camera station. It sounds absolutely epic. Waddell in 4th position. He's got the podium just ahead of him, and it's been an interesting podium battle so far. Here we go once again. Better than Hollywood, folks. Waddell back on board with him. We've got Simmons, Dilworth and Guptill just ahead of him. We've seen Dilworth's keenness or eagerness to use that apron. Not many other drivers have used it as often as he has. They certainly have enjoyed using it, but Dilworth using it to his advantage as much as possible. He really is going to have to go some here and keep using it to his advantage if he's going to take home this race win, and indeed hold on to a podium. He's showed some immense pace so far, but the tyres are going to be wearing, and the drivers behind are certainly not slowing up any. That is for sure. Xavier Simmons giving us a beautiful shot. Oh, I tell you what, there we go. Confirmation he's led 100 of the 105 laps. That is not bad going. So yeah, many bonus points coming his way. And also making sure not many other drivers get a lap in the lead there by limiting the number of bonus points gets called out. Oh, I tell you what, Guptill getting very close to the back of Dilworth there, and they are bringing this battle with them. Waddell and McLoone, you can just see on the right hand of the picture there, Guptill heading to the low line. He's going to take the paint. Is he going to take the position? No, he's not. Dilworth's going to hang on to this around the outside. Dilworth no access to the apron this time, so Guptill says, well, I'll take the apron this time. It almost takes out. Oh, always touch the wall. Dilworth's touched the wall. He's managed to survive. Always hanging on to the back end of that car. What a save that is. Dilworth, big touch on the wall there. Lots of smoke coming up off the back of the car. How he's managed to maintain the momentum there is absolutely beyond me. Lap 107. We'll have to ask him about that one. If he survives to the podium, you never know after that touch. Whoa, there could be contact coming in. Warrington and Josh Mertens. The two Toyotas, they're chasing Waddell and McLoone, trying to get themselves up onto this podium battle as well. Quick dive. Going for the paint. Is he going to take the position? I tell you what, that is a good run from Scott Rankin. No, he falls back into line. Hayden Warrington, is he going to go for it, or is he going to bump draft his way and get closer to the cars ahead? That would certainly seem to be the way to go. We've got 108 laps done. We've got 11 laps left to go. Any guesses in the chat? Who do we think is going to win? Is it going to be Simmons? Is it going to be Dilworth? Is Guptill going to bring both their hats right at the end? Or is it going to be one of these three drivers? Look how close they are once again. Absolutely love the NASCARs. You just don't get racing like this anywhere else. Maybe in the F4s, my beloveds, but certainly the drivers here are absolutely side by side, and they're still very firmly going for it. Rankin finds himself in an intense battle here with Waddell, and Warrington, he will happily take these two positions if these two can't sort this out. And there's a three-way battle going on just ahead. That is so close to that rear quarter panel. They both survive, and these cars, for anyone that is unaware, oh sorry, Cale James, quick update, Cale James in the pits. Cale James has come into the pits, so he's been in there for over 2 minutes, so I think James is out. for MC Simsports. Aidan Gregory and Rhys Tamanui both appear to be out as well. Oh, and that's almost a contact. He's coming back on the apron. Gupta might have just cost himself a run at the podium. Dilworth sees what is potentially backup coming for him now. As the number 61 of Willie McLoone finding his way, heading back towards the podium. That's a bit of butt draft as the touch of the wall. He's wiggled. He's going to lose momentum. He can't drop down to the low line to steady the car because Guptill has already got Waddell down there. This is a monster four-way battle the whole time. This is playing right into Simmons' hands. Simmons is now almost a second ahead. With only 8 laps left to go, not the position that we thought, or certainly not the position that I thought Dilworth would be in at this stage of the race. Lucky Brett is the car that's just in front. Oh, there's a little bit of contact there with Gupta. They've all survived. That is getting pretty close to drivers. Absolutely firing on all cylinders now. As Dilworth finds himself, he's fought his way back up to that second place, but this battle here, absolutely incredible stuff here in Warrington. Right on the back of Scott Rankin and Willie McLoone, as we've got a car off track. We've got a car down on the apron, so a slow runner off the track. Is that Cam Galley? I don't think it is. Oh no, that's Leverage Watkins. That is Leverage Watkins, who is absolutely all at sea. Yes, so Leverage Watkins, he is massively off track, so another runner and rider falling by the wayside potentially. With only 6 laps left to go, there's confirmation that Leverage Watkins making his way into the pits with 6 laps to go, so that is his hunt out of the window now. He will be well outside the top 20, or sorry, he will actually just finished inside the top 20 because we've had a couple of cars retire up at the front of the field though. It's still absolutely as you were. Gupta now down in the 7th position, such as the battle is going on. The tyres having a big part to play in this at the end here. I think Simmons now 1 second ahead of Dilworth, who's 2 seconds ahead of McLoone. McLoone, I wish he had a 2-second gap over the driver behind him. He's got Rankin absolutely chasing him down for that final spot on the podium. We've got 5 laps left to go, and only half a second separating 3 of the drivers in podium contention. In fact, Waddell is right in the hunt there as well, with Warrington just ahead of him. Willie McLoone, the driver, currently holding on to 3rd place. He started down in 19th position. Really some serious movers and shakers through the field. Luke Dilworth, of course, 18 spots he's made up. Scott Rankin currently on 17. McLoone currently on 16 positions made up. So 3 of the top 4 have made up a minimum of 16 spots in the race so far. Oh, Terry Leverage Watkins in the chat. Engine blue, right on time to watch the stream to the end. There we go, Terry. It's every cloud has a silver lining. There we go. The engine might have blown, but you get to watch the close of the race, and what a close it's going to be with Simmons in the lead. Can Dilworth catch him? Has Dilworth over-strategized this and left himself a bit too far back to bring that race win? He did spend a lot of time in 2nd place before we saw those 3 rapid-fire safety cars. He now finds himself a second down and chasing hard to try and catch up. We've also got Rankin on screen at the moment. He's trying to get himself up onto the podium at the expense of Willie McLoone. He is getting very close indeed. The Toyota looking very good on that corner exit there. He falls back into line. We'll see if any of them take the apron, which has proved to be beneficial every few laps or so. As they go flying past that camera once again, it's Simmons who is closing in. He's going to take the white flag very soon indeed. Rankin, is he going to take this final podium spot? Is it going to be at the expense of McLoone? McLoone taking a high line, and it is once again down towards that painted line. Is he managing to hold on to the position, or is he going to take the position here? Sorry, he is not. It's going to be McLoone that is going to hold on. There's 119 laps done. Where does the time go? Someone please explain this to me. It just makes no sense how these races go past so quickly. I tell you what, Simmons is going to be very happy with the current position that he is in. There is the white flag. And in fact, is that the full... Oh, no, sorry, that's the white flag. We're on at the final lap at Simmons, as they're all still firing away. I tell you what, this battle between Rankin and McLean, it could not be closer between the two of them. Is Rankin going to take this final podium position, or is McLean going to hang on? Simmons and Dilworth have got this absolutely nailed on. Rankin late on goes for the bottom line. I tell you what, here comes Warrington as well. Look at how much Warrington's closing up on his tail. Oh, bit of a touch to the wall from Dilworth. There is the checkered flag. Simmons takes the checkered flag as Dilworth in second. McLean did hang on by 7 thousandths of a second from Rankin. Does it get any closer than that, folks? I'm not quite sure it does. In fact, it does get closer than that, because Warrington was only 5 thousandths behind Rankin. Absolutely incredible end to that race. An incredible race all in. What a 120 laps that was. Xavier Simmons, who finds himself on the top spot. He is led for the vast majority of the race. And I'll tell you what a race that was. Dilworth got himself onto the podium. That's back-to-back podiums, which is not too shabby at all, considering where he started with Willie McLean in third place. There is the confirmed results with Simmons in first. It's Dilworth in second, and McLean in third place. Scott Rankin in fourth, and Hayden Warrington in fifth, with Waddell in sixth position. Josh Mertens in seventh. Logan Howard in 8th place, Hayden Guptill in 9th, and Devon Stone rounding out the top 10. 11th with Matthew Stables, with 12th Murray Howell. We've got Hayden Millings in 13th with Jason Douglas. In 14th place, Corey Cross and Stephen Tears, Cam Galley, Lackey Brett and Brady Stanley, all inside the top 20. Stanley and Brett both multiple lap downs. Terry Leverage Watkins blew his engine right at the end. Did make it into the chart though towards the end. Kale James, Aidan Gregory and Reese Tamanui not making it to the end of the race, unfortunately. So there we go, we've got the drivers once again queuing up to jump in. And seeing as how Simmons is in first, let's start with the top spot this week around Mr. Race Director, just to throw you under the bus to do it slightly differently to last week. So yeah, we'll get Xavier Simmons in first, and we'll see how a race winner found that after starting in second place. It's Xavier Simmons who brings home a race win, and I'd imagine a fair few war stories there for getting chased from Luke Dilworth for long periods of that race. Mr. Simmons, how was that race for you, and how intense was that battle up at the front with Luke?
Yeah, no, that race was real fun. Yeah, at the start, had a real good battle with Hayden Millings towards the end of the stage, and then, yeah, that second stage, it was me against Luke once again, and yeah, finally got one on him. So, yeah, I'll take that. Indeed, yeah, he's no slouch. It's safe to say he is no slouch behind the wheel. The race itself, how did you feel it played out? Because up until, what was it, lap 70, the only yellow flag we saw was to end stage one, and then we had three safety cars back-to-back rapid fire. That really did throw a few of the strategies out of the window. How did you find that last section of the race with the 3 safety cars back-to-back?
Yeah, it was interesting actually, just trying to work out when I was going to take my stop under green flag, and I think Willie and a couple others had gone early, so I sort of knew that guys were starting to go, and I was probably less than 5 laps away before I was going to go when that first caution came out, and definitely helped that sort of situation. Just took a set of tyres then, and yeah, from there it was sort of like stay on track and keep track position.
Indeed, yeah, well, you absolutely managed to do so, and bringing home the race win here for round 5, not too bad at all. Certainly departure from Sonoma last week. We have got everyone's favourite track next week. We've got Echo Park. The echoing, of course, is the sound of tyres exploding and engines absolutely giving up the ghost. How are you looking forward to next week at Echo Park, Xavier?
Yeah, a little bit more of a team strategy at those drafting tracks. So yeah, just gonna have to try to link up with the guys within Fastlane and see if we can get ourselves to the front.
Indeed, yeah. Well, round the number 5 of the Sharp Apparel NASCAR series. It is a race win for yourself. Congratulations. We look forward to next week. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you disappear off and celebrate?
Yeah, just a quick shout out to you guys for putting the stream on for us, to the Fastlane Esports guys, SP Tools New Zealand, System Decal, Hartley Race Engines, 17RC, and Sidebite Media. Yeah, cheers.
Nice, there we go then, Xavier Simmons, and yeah, hopefully I've got your name somewhat closer to correct this week, Xavier, but congratulations on the race win, a good haul of points, and very much looking forward to seeing what you can do next week.
Yeah, cheers, mate. I enjoyed the Javier actually, so you choose what you like.
Thank you very much, good sir. Thank you. I always said you were a man of class, Javier. We'll catch you next week, mate. Thank you very much.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
There we go then. Xavier Simmons joining us in the box from first place. Now joining us, it is Mr. Luke Dilworth joining us again in the comedy box after his display at Sonoma last week. Pulls up another podium here at Chicagoland. Luke, that was quite the interesting race. No pit time, no qualifying time set. My mind went completely blank there. No qualifying time set. Another run through the field. How was the stage 1 for you, first of all?
Oh yeah, it was tough. This track is well, first off, the setup was horrible. Just spends the whole time chewing right front tyres out. So once we worked that out, it was just trying to drive around that, and which means you lose a lot of car speed and end up battling trying to make passes. So but the first stage a bit tough. I mean, we worked our way into like 5th or 6th, I think, which kind of was nice. It was nice to get a whole green flag run there and yeah, actually let the tyre life play out.
Indeed, yeah, we actually did mention that to Xavier as well. The yellow flag run, and I was going to come on to that next because it did look like you were maybe playing possum a bit, just hanging back in 2nd place behind Xavier, and then 3 rapid fire safety cars from lap 70 onwards. It just seemed to come out with no place, and then one led to a 2nd, led to a 3rd. How did you find that stage of the race, and did you make any adjustments to your potential pitting strategy with everything that was going on there?
Not really. I think I was just sort of running out that first set of tyres in the 2nd stage. Anyway, I don't know. I was kind of just going to base myself off the guys around me and the time that I was losing to the guys that had already stopped, and see whether we could try and get a bit of tyre life on everyone and come back later on in the race. But yeah, I jumped Xavier and I kind of gave up that track position just by being a bit soft. And yeah, unfortunately, it kind of put me on the back foot with him, and then a couple of dive bombs and stuff from guys behind that just let him get away. We had a bit of speed on him at the end, but unfortunately, yeah, it was just a little bit too little too late.
Indeed, yeah. Well, it was an intense race. Xavier was a big fan of the race between the two of you up in the front. He said it was nice to finally get one over on you. So we'll see how that goes again next week, because we've got Echo Park next week. Look, another interesting course to say the least. How are you looking forward to Echo Park next week?
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I haven't raced there in this car for a wee while now, especially with the new drafting model. It's made these cars tough. Hopefully the setup is a bit better and you can actually bump in them. Otherwise, I would say it's going to be a pretty slow race. It'll just be the first guy to have to take tyres and fuel at the end will be at the front, I guess.
Well, yeah, we will certainly see how it plays out. Another incredible race tonight, Luke, starting 18 places, so you definitely took the award for most places gained in the race once again. Not a bad feather in the cap. Anyone you'd like to say a shout out or a hello to before we let you go?
Nah, just Josh, System Decal, does a bloody good job. Yeah, and the rest of the Sigma boys. Yeah, seem to be coming back into some form, which is nice, and see if we can keep it going.
Nice. Well, there we go then. Big thanks to everyone on behalf of Luke and Luke, on behalf of us viewers. Thank you very much for the racing that you put on up at the front. Very much looking forward to see what you do for the rest of the season.
Yeah, cheers, boys. Yeah, thanks, and thanks for you guys' efforts. Look forward to watching the stream back.
Nice, yeah, it's definitely a fun one, Luke. Thank you very much. We will catch you next week.
Yeah, cheers, boys.
There we go then, that is Luke, or was Luke Dilworth. Lewin McLoone, unfortunately, not joining us in the comedy box. He's off celebrating his podium already. But it was McLoone that finished in third place. As I say, we'll maybe get him in the comedy box next week. Unavailable this week, unfortunately. So that is all that we will have time for. Well, in a moment or two, we'll certainly wrap things up, of course, for round number 5. And what a round it has been. The Sharp Apparel NASCAR Series round number 5. That was Chicagoland. Now joins Sonoma, Michigan, Pocono and Nashville in our rear view mirror. 120 laps done this week, and it's going to be another 120 laps next week from Echo Park. So make sure you get tuned in for that. Big thanks, of course, to Sharp Apparel for sponsoring this series. Make sure you go over and help support an organisation which helps to support our beloved sim racing. So big thanks to Sharp Apparel for sponsoring the series. Big thanks to everyone that's been in the chat, all the likes, the subscribes and the follows, much appreciated. We hope you've enjoyed the viewing here at TrackSpotTV, and of course on behalf of myself, John Wright, and everyone at TrackSpotTV, thank you for tuning in. We are very much looking forward to seeing you all next week at Echo Park, but until then, that is all we have time for this week. Until then, stay safe, take it easy, and have a great rest of your night. Good night.